What is up, Eagle Eye? Speed Eagle 15 here, and today is a story time. I normally don't do story times, but I kind of like to tell things I feel are kind of interesting, and maybe you can learn from my mistakes to not do what I do because I'm pretty stupid. So anyway, something happened recently that kind of just reminded me of the situation, even though it didn't happen not that long ago. But yeah, without further ado, let's just get right into the story time. So this story time takes place back in September of 2020. Now, one day my mom and I went over to my aunt's house, right? And I had to charge my phone up, so I plugged my phone up. I asked her if I could. She said, "Yeah, as long as you don't leave it here." So I charged my phone up, but of course I ended up leaving my charger. So I went home chargerless. And my mom said we could go back there and get it Friday, and I believe it was a Tuesday. And so we went home. About a day or two goes by, I think. And I couldn't wait till Friday. So 1 or 2 days go by, and I'm like, I really want my phone. So I text my friend, right? We're just gonna call him John. So I text John. I say, can I come over to your house to charge my phone? Because he had an iPhone too at the time. And he said, for sure, come on over. So I grabbed my phone, and I went over there because all I didn't have was the charger. I still had a phone, but of course it died. So I went over there to charge my phone up. So I went over there. I go over there, right? I charge my phone up, and of course it wasn't fully charged by the time we ended up leaving, because we decided to do a little more that day. We decided to go over our two friends. We're just gonna call them Damien and Lamont. So first we go over Damien's house, right? We knock on his door, ask him if he wants to hang out, and Damien's gonna be pretty crucial to the plot. So just know that. So we go over his house. He says he has to clean up his room, but he'll be able to come out later. So we say okay. So we go over to Lamont's house. He can hang out. So we get him for a little bit, but I had to go home because I had to do some extra work with my teacher. I made an appointment to get most of my work done, right? So I do that. I get all that done, and after that, I see a bunch of people knocking on my door. John, his older cousin Chris, Lamont, and Damien. So they asked if I could come out. I say I'm gonna get this done real quick. And after I got it done, I went outside my apartment complex and we hung out there. And then this is where things took a turn for the worst. So Damien asks me. He says, "Hey, Shamar, can I add you on Snapchat?" And I'm like, "Okay." So he uses my phone to add his account, right? Because he didn't have his phone on him, right? And I say, "Okay, that's cool." Cause he was a good friend. Why else wouldn't I want a Snapchat? So he did add his account, but as he had my phone, he was like, "All right, you ain't getting this back." And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "You heard me? You ain't getting this back." I'm like, "Wait," and I'm just laughing because I'm like, I didn't think that he would actually steal it because he was a pretty good friend, at least to me. I don't know what he felt, but at least to me, he seemed like a pretty good friend. And this is where I did something very, very, very stupid. Like, I cringed just thinking about what I did. I gave him my phone password. He said, "What's the password?" And I gave it to him. At the time, it was just 3,000. It wasn't really that hard of a password. So I give it to him, right? And it worked. So he's just surprised. So he starts like stuffing it in his pocket, and I'm like, "No, take it out," and he's just backing up. And this is the part where I realized, oh man, I really did mess up. Thanks to my idiot self, I literally gave him my phone password. Guys, never do that. I mean, I hope that you all are smarter than me and wouldn't do that like a dummy. But yeah, I did it like a dummy. Before he took off running, he looked at the back of it. So I had the iPhone 8 at the time, right? And it was like somewhat small, but not like miniature small. So it kind of resembles the iPhone 6. But the way you tell the difference between the iPhone 6 and the iPhone 8 is by looking at the back. The iPhone 6 has a more of a matte finish to the back, and the iPhone 8 is glass on the back of the phone. And this is before I had a case. And he looked at the back of the phone, saw it was glass, and before you know it, he was gone. Now, I'm a very fast runner, I've actually outrun him multiple times of us just like running for fun. But he actually had the upper hand this time because I was already kind of exhausted that day, and plus, as I was running to him, I ended up tripping. I mean, I'm lucky I didn't crash into poles and stuff because I was not stopping. If I was running into a dumpster, I was pushing myself away from that dumpster. Like, I was not stopping for anything. But then I slipped and fell, and then I got back up, and then he cut through a corner and cut through, like, I guess this yard. And at first I didn't know what he cut through, but after the incident, I kind of remembered a way that I usually cut through, like when I walk home from school. And so, and I didn't end up getting my phone back. My one friend, who's John's cousin, Chris, he actually said, I heard that he said, hold my skateboard, and he was going to chase after him for me. But of course, we didn't end up, we didn't end up getting it back, unfortunately. So, we go home, and, well, we didn't go home, we go to Aiden's house. So we go and find my iPhone, right? Trying to get it back, seeing if we can trace it. We can't, of course, because I'm not sure why. I guess he turned it off, but as far as I'm concerned, he didn't turn it off the day he stole it. But when we went home, I decided to go up there, right? Up to Damien's house. So I go up to Damien's house, and some guy answers. I didn't know, he looks pretty young, so he could have been an older cousin, an older brother. And he said, hello. And yeah, I said, now, his dude, he did not look like he was happy. He looked like he was pretty irritated. Or it was just that look when you just wake up. I don't know. And then I said, hey, he has my phone, and I was wondering if he's here. And instead of just saying, no, he's not here, or no, it's okay, he's like, heck, no, he ain't here. Well, he didn't say heck, but, he said, Hell. I'm sorry, guys, I can't cuss on here. But, and I know there's going to be people saying, it's not a cuss word. It is a cuss word, depending on how you use it. Hell, the place isn't a cuss word, but if you say it as in the, the other terms, then it's a cuss word. Anyway, he says that no, he ain't here, and I'm like, okay, thank you. And I start tearing up, because it was my fault. Keep in mind, I also snuck out of the house to do this. If I would have called my mom and asked if I could go over Aiden's house to charge my phone, she actually probably would have said yes. But I snuck out. So, and even if she would have said no, and I had to end up going home, and my mom was already there, because I spent too much time trying to get my phone. And, oh, dang it, 14 hours. And then, I couldn't believe what happened. I was just dumbfounded. And I got home. My mom was sitting in the parking lot. She immediately had a face of angriness of why I was out. and I unfortunately had to tell her everything. I actually told her everything. I told her the complete truth except for the part with the password. I don't know. Because I realized how stupid that was. But she went over to Aiden's house because she saw him on his porch. Because my mom said she was going to go to the police station. I told her not to. Because, I don't know, I just kind of felt like I could deal with it myself. Like, I don't know. And plus, people would probably be calling me a snitch. I really didn't want that. But she said, so you want to protect a boy who stole your phone? I'm like, no. So she goes to the police station, files the report. And then they actually, believe it or not, they actually ended up dropping the case. Because they said it felt like a bunch of he said, she said. And I honestly can't blame them because it is just a phone. But I ended up going up there. We were going to, alright? So, and we were going to go up there. And then I was going to go, because he was actually, believe it or not, he was actually on his porch. And I was going to go up there to try to get my phone back. Now, I kind of figured that he was probably going to say something like, oh, if you want this back, you're going to have to fight, or something like that. But I honestly didn't even care if he wanted to fight me or not, as long as I got my phone back. But then a thought had came in mind. What if I were to get jumped? Like, that guy, he didn't look too friendly, and I didn't know if he was gonna jump me or something, or get some people, or even if he wasn't gonna try. But I didn't know if some people inside would hear commotion, see us fighting, and then jump in and just leave me, they're unconscious, maybe even worse. So I chickened out. I say, John, let's just go home. And he's like, what? Yeah, he's right there. Come on, just go up there. I'm like, no. He's like, come on, man, you can't be this scared. I'm like, and I tell him what I was thinking, like, what if he jumps me? And he's like, whatever. So we just go back to his house, and then eventually I ended up going back home. And then fast forward a day after that, I get a knock. I'm just playing the game with my friends, right? We were just talking about, it was like around when Among Us was starting to get popular, and he was talking about how I need to get he wishes I had a phone so we could all play Among Us. And then right as we were talking about that, I was just playing the game with my friends, and then I get a knock at the door. It's by these detectives, or they looked like detectives. They weren't officers, but they were in like, regular kind of like professional outfits, so they kind of seemed like detectives. It was a man and a woman, and they said, "Hey, is this yours?" And I was just, I couldn't believe my eyes. Like, I'm like, thank you. How did you get it? They said they went up to his house, and then I said, did he give you the right password? They said, yeah, we made sure. We asked him if it was the right password, and sure enough, it was still 3,000. And now, of course, I ended up changing it after that. And of course, I was smarter with my belongings. I also changed my YouTube emails. Like, I doubt he would want to target my YouTube channel, but hey, you gotta be safe. Like, I doubt he would really, like, there was really definitely no chance he would want to mess with my email, considering he actually put all of his emails on there and deleted all of my pictures. And I'm really happy that I was able to get all of my pictures back, considering that we had just came back from a trip from Florida and took a bunch of pictures and photos from there. And there was some YouTube videos that I hadn't uploaded at the time, and I was planning on uploading. And thank goodness that, they were all there. So, moral of the story is don't give people your personal information. If it's something that they could do to what the heck? If it's something they could do to possibly target you, just don't. Don't give them your personal information. And don't give anybody, for that matter. It's not worth it. They're just gonna. Don't trust everybody, okay? And actually, what made me tell this story was like this same guy actually added me not too long ago. And he even texted me. Now I thought it was gonna be an angry text, but it was actually he asked me to send him a video of something funny that I'd posted on my Snapchat story. And yeah, I just sent the video to him, and he saved it to his camera roll, and that was it. So I don't know if, because we do go to the same school, and but right now we're like split up. The schools are split up, due to the pandemic. So I don't know if we ever end up going back. He's gonna try to fight me there. But Damien, if you're watching this, so you know exactly who I'm referring to, sorry, but you can't go stealing phones. If you wanted a phone, you should have just asked someone to buy you one. But anyway, that's going to be the end of the video, guys. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Feel free to join the notification squad so you get notified of all my upcoming videos. Once again, thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.